Doobie-da-ba-ba-ba.
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 Sperm Sisters.
This is a story about sisters, just not the kind that you're expecting.
3 years ago, we were strangers, living separate lives.
Now we know we're biological sisters, connected by the same sperm donor.
And that's just the beginning.
This podcast dives headfirst into the how, the why, and the uncomfortable questions no one seems to want to answer.
Uncovering secrets the medical world would rather keep buried. How many donor-conceived people are there really?
No one can give a straight answer. Not the clinics, not the system, no one.
So, how many siblings could be walking past us every day without a clue?
It's messy, it's shocking. At times, it's almost impossible to believe.
And somehow, it's also really funny.
Come with us as we dig deeper, ask the uncomfortable questions, and laugh our way through the chaos of discovering who we really are and just how many of us there might be.
Coming up on this week's episode of Sperm Sisters. Nat's away this week, so it's just Gemma and Helen in the hot seats. Today, we're deep diving into an article that seems to have done the rounds, so let's unpack it together.
We're focusing only on the title of the article alone. Unofficial sperm donor sells BBC baby batter delivered with tomato passata.
Oh, delicious!
And we uncover some pretty weird names for ourselves.
You might be thinking of other slang terms, often referred to humorously as crotch fruit.
No time to waste, let's get started.
Welcome back to Sperm Sisters, everybody. I haven't checked to see if my little sister co-host is ready or not, but I'm sure she is. And if you've been watching from the beginning, I'm sure you've noticed that Helen's bump has progressively getting bigger. This might be the last time, Helen, that you're recording a podcast whilst pregnant before your little one arrives.
I mean, I think it is the last time because just before we hit record, I really thought that my waters were about to break.
Yeah.
We're 2 days away from the due date.
You might be the first person to go into labour whilst recording a podcast.
I think we need to try and address the fact that there's only 2 of us doing this at the moment.
Yes, because there are now only 2 sperm sisters. Nat's DNA test results were wrong.
There was a mistake and she's like, I'm sorry.
She's been voted out. No. So we never intended to record this episode. It wasn't on our radar. This is coming to fruition in the last couple of hours, to be honest. And unfortunately, Nat isn't available to record with us today, but she's here in spirit. There are going to be plenty of episodes where one of us can't make it for whatever reason. This happens to be the first time that a sperm sister isn't visible on screen. But
it is an emergency recording because, as I'm sure, as we know, so many of you have emailed in letting us know about the recent BBC News article that was published. And it's something that we are so aware that we need to do a current episode on, and we have to address it because it has just taken the internet by storm.
Yes. The name of the article is Unofficial Sperm Donor Sells BBC Baby Batter Delivered with Tomato Passata. If you didn't catch this article that came out, it was written by the brilliant Gemma Dunstan. We need to ease ourselves into the absolute fuckwittery of what this was all about.
So, the brilliant Gemma Dunstan conducted an investigation into the growing black market for sperm donation online.
The investigation found that women and families in the UK and around the world feel the need to seek sperm via social media due to the rising fertility costs and limited access to NHS-funded treatment. Facebook, Instagram, Tinder, all of the above. Pick a social media app, it's probably on there. All of them have groups, and there are even dedicated websites where people can source an unregistered sperm donor. That means that these so-called sperm donors are operating without medical screening or legal safeguarding. Some donors are charging money and pressuring women into having sex rather than using artificial insemination, which is how us lot were created in a fertility clinic back in the 80s. The investigation also uncovered how horrific the dangers are of using illegal sperm donation. For example, after some digging, one bloke offering his sperm was a sex offender. This is happening right now, today, down the road from you. It's happening on our doorsteps and our little wholesome parishes. And we are incredibly thankful to Gemma Dunstan for bringing it to the public's attention.
So let's take a little bit of a breather, shall we, today? Because obviously this article is so heavy. We're focusing only on the title of the article alone. Unofficial sperm donor sells BBC baby batter delivered with tomato passata.
Oh, delicious! That baby's gonna have a tangy zestiness to them.
A zest for life, if you will.
If you don't laugh, you'll weep.
Well, but actually, in that sense, again, not to be bleak, not so much of a zest for life.
Not in this case, no, because Gemma Dunstan, as part of the investigation, the BBC allowed her to pay £100 for a sperm sample that arrived by post in said frozen tomato passata sauce packaging. And when it was tested by a licensed clinic, all of the sperm cells were found to be dead. Like, it was completely useless. So, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to add in a clip of Gemma. It sounds like I'm talking about myself. No, I'm talking about
it does.
Journalism, Gemma. Discovering that she has bought sperm. By the way, she wasn't intending to use it. It's purely for investigation journalism. So here's our package.
So we do have what appears to be...
What's that? Like tomato. Oh, it's cold.
Yes, so it's very cold. Tomato passata.
Okay, so I'm
Okay.
guessing you don't use tomato
No.
passata in the clinic to...
Definitely not anything over sort of 1.4 mil is normal. So this here is 11.3, and we'll do a count on this sample. $1 million question now. I cannot see anything moving, so there is no live sperm.
But this bloke that she bought the sperm off from used the tomato sauce packaging, like the passata carton, and froze it as like a way of like a frozen block of ice to help keep the sperm cold or frozen whilst in transit to her. Is that right?
Well, it wasn't in the tomato passata.
No. The passata was keeping it cool, man.
Yeah, he was using the passata as an ice block, if you will. Do you know what I always think? Well, not always, because obviously I've only come across this once. What I always think about, right, if you receive that in the post with the intention of using it,
Yeah.
what are you then doing?
Imagine if you had like spag bowl on the list of dinners you were going to make that week, and if you like, this box of passata show, I suppose it's perfectly decent.
But that's what I mean, because like if it's been frozen,
You could still use it.
But you probably shouldn't put it in frozen. You should probably let it thaw to room temperature before you're putting it in, no?
Are you talking about the sperm or the passata?
I mean, either or. What's your motive?
Pick a lane.
I just feel like it's so bizarre because also just watching that on the documentary and in the news article, seeing
What's the documentary called again?
Swipe Right for Sperm.
Yeah, you can find it on BBC iPlayer.
And I think we'll put a link to it in the show notes because it is fascinating. Like at the end of the documentary, she uncovers texts from a prolific donor who basically ends, I don't know, spoiler alert if anyone wants to watch it, but ends up admitting to somebody that he really wants to have a cult of all the children that he's created. Yeah, it's mental. He wants to have a cult of the children that he's created. He also wants to fly top quality women out to have sex with them in person because they're so desperate to have children. But he would only fly out the top quality people because he wants to create a ranch. I haven't put that particularly succinctly, but this is the thing, because it's such a grey area. It's like, are they doing something illegal? I mean, profiting from the sale of sperm is illegal.
In the UK it is, isn't it? Yeah.
In the UK, yeah. And
Right.
guess where it's from?
10 points for Gryffindor if you get it right. America! Inspired by the title, this episode of Sperm Sisters, which I think we should call Passata Passata.
I love that. Passata, passata. Hakuna Matata.
Have your passata. We have each had a look online to see what other bizarre situations people have put themselves through in order to get their hands on this illegal online sperm. Real lived experiences documented online. They're out there in the general public for you to read. So anything that we're saying isn't privately confidential. It's out on the web, because some of these stories that we're going to tell you, you're going to think, why the fuck would they tell anybody that? We've heard our Passata Passata story. Other people go about it in different ways, and how they purchase sperm, get in touch with illegal donors on websites or social media. Here is an example. And the title is The Workplace Parking Garage Insemination.
Oh,
Catchy.
no.
This is as heinous as you think it's going to be. The person that this happened to, writing this post on Reddit, titled it, "The Things I Do to Try and Conceive, ... I'm laying in the back of my car in my donor's works parking garage, having just self-inseminated. What am I like?"
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
That's so
Like,
disgusting.
when we think about the danger that woman's put herself through.
Sorry, is she just sat in his car?
She's put a photo up of her car. I'll put the picture up here. And that's her with her legs in the air for 15 minutes after she's inseminated the sperm donation. So the Reddit user described driving to her donor's workplace, handing him a bag containing a sterile collection cup and sperm-safe lubricant, waiting while he produced a sample during his lunch break, and then she self-inseminated in the back of the car because of the critical timing. Obviously, how long sperm lasts out in the open, not frozen or that, whatever. And she has put a photo of herself and her legs up in the air. She's in the boot of her car. And this is after some guy's got his out in a multi-story car park, and she's there like, okay, give me your sperm.
I'm sorry.
Passata, passata.
Passata, passata. I'm not being funny. The child, if there is one that's been created from that, can you? I hate to drag Mandy into this, but can you imagine us looking back at something and being like, well, how were we created then, Mum? And obviously our experience is finding out that we're donor conceived. If Mum then pulled up a picture and was like, lol.
Okay, I'm going to read you some of the comments underneath this post.
Okay.
One comment was, okay, I'm going to ask, did you drive to his work, wait for him to provide a sample of knuckle children
Oh,
while on his lunch break and then walk out to your car?
knuckle children. That's unforgivable.
That's unforgivable. So then the girl writes back, she goes, almost, lol. I drove to his work, handed him a bag with a sterile cup and sperm safe lube. Then I waited for him to come back. Please note this method was only used because of busy schedules. Preferred method is doing this in one of our homes.
Ew.
That's not any safer. The person who wrote the first comment replies to this and then says, this sounds like an episode of Modern Family. And then the girl who wrote the post replies, never watched it, but from what I hear, that does make sense. If I get pregnant this round, it's absolutely the conception story I'll be telling. Yeah, as you say, this child's going to go like, oh, so when a mummy and a daddy love each other very much, like, how did I come about? Oh, your dad got his dick out in a car park.
The problem is, though,
and I shared the entire story online.
With a picture of me with my legs in the air.
Mega lols, XOXO. I just think it's just so irresponsible to make light of this scenario because it inspires other people to do the same thing. Vulnerable people who aren't in potentially the right frame of mind to be thinking about their own safety in these moments and putting yourself in harm's way. She didn't know. She didn't know what she was walking into in that scenario. And to think that she's finding it funny, I hope she's saved a lot of money from not going to a fertility clinic to pay towards this child's therapy.
Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty strong take. But I agree with everything you've said.
Good.
And for and for her to then be like, what am I like? Is really...
And I think the only way that these situations can be stopped is if fertility costs are lowered.
Yeah.
They're more amenable. What's the word I'm trying to say? They're more affordable. Because the fact that people feel the need to go into the dark web, do you know what? It's not even dark web, it's Facebook.
Yeah, none of it's hidden.
In danger. And that's the thing. When you look at these comments and things online, someone will post something and it's going to have like 100, 200 likes and comments from people who have gone through exactly the same scenario.
Yeah.
How many people around the world are doing this right now? How many people have done that today? I just find that one baffling.
That one's horrid. And I don't want to say thank you for sharing it.
No, I'm trying to keep my dinner down.
Thank you for sharing that. Here's a question for you.
Oh, yeah.
If you were going to use one of these online sperm donors, how would you want your donation to be received in the post to you?
Shaken and not stirred.
You wouldn't want it shaken, surely.
I don't know. Gets a bit of a froth on it.
Good God, you can't say that. Not all these knuckle children over here. I think we might be, yeah, because does that just mean that you're product of like a wank, basically?
Right, I can't believe I'm going to type this in. What is a knuckle child? The phrase knuckle children is a vulgar and jocular slang term referring to semen or ejaculate that results from masturbation.
Okay, so it's only about the sperm.
No.
Oh,
sorry,
no.
I just read something awful. If you were looking for information on literal children, you might be thinking of other slang terms for children, often referred to humorously as crotch fruit.
No.
That's another one. Or crib lizards.
Crib lizard. Crotch fruit is so rank to me. Sorry, Gemma, if someone was going to insult you and call you either a knuckle child, a crib lizard, or a crotch fruit, what's worse?
I wouldn't want to be crotch fruit. No. I'd take
I don't
umbrage
want to
to
be
that.
crotch fruit.
Knuckle child, be like, okay. Crib lizard, sounds fun.
Knuckle child just makes it sound like we're thick.
Well, we have been called that. Maybe that's part of the default for being crotch fruit.
I was coming across one that was actually like relatively wholesome, what people were saying, not like people trying to understand why someone would be faced with that scenario. I was like, oh, there's some hope here. No, suddenly someone said, suddenly this guy said, I've been wanting to be a sperm donor for a while now. I'm getting older and would like to leave my seed on this earth to carry on. I'm in my 50s. Just anyone who's like, I want to leave my seed. Creepy, no? Like a god complex. It's not to help anybody. It's to leave his seed.
Seed. They've got a mighty opinion of themselves that they think that the earth would want their seed left.
Gross.
That is disgusting.
I know.
I came across another one.
Oh, go
It's
on.
called, oh God, the hotel room handoff. And from all of my research that I've done, it seems that this is the most common way that people procure the goods. So if you do buy online sperm, a lot of people are preferring to self-inseminate. Right, so this person has said they described the moment that they met the donor in a hotel, and the donor went upstairs alone to produce a sample in privacy, and then notified the couple, the same-sex couple, when it was ready, and they left it for them to collect before they carried out the self-insemination themselves as a couple. They go on to describe their own personal story into this. And it says, the insemination process was super easy. We had him deposit directly into a soft cup, which is a period cup, and had a mason jar to place it on so nothing spilled out. He then let us know when he was done, and we went back up to the hotel room. My wife then inserted the soft cup into me, and I kept my legs up for an hour and had an orgasm at the beginning and end of the hour. Next time, I'm just going to do 30 minutes because an hour was a bit too long.
I don't know. I just don't know what to say.
It's really hard when all they want to do is just have a family. As a parent myself, I have complete sympathy with people who desperately want a child. My beef is with how they're doing it, because it's not safe. It's not safe, and it's not how a child would want to find out that they were created. It's just a really sad state of affairs that the world has got itself into. The fact that so much work has gone into the rules and regulations over the last 20 years, like since we were born, because there weren't any rules then when we were born, but since then, every 5-6 years or so, the rules have been updated, they've improved, donor anonymity is slowly being petered out, which is fantastic around the world. But unfortunately, because of the rising costs of fertility treatment, we're in parallel seeing a rise in illegal sperm donation and a rise in these scenarios where people are going to hotel rooms with some random bloke spaffing himself up in her period cup in the bathroom, and she shoves it up herself, and somehow they have to make a romantic moment out of that by pleasuring each other whilst she's trying to get pregnant.
I found something really interesting on one of these sites as to it's the point of view from a historical donor, someone who was going through official routes, and why they would now never do that again.
Okay.
Yeah, which I've not really come across before. So I'm going to read it. out properly. So,
Well done.
here we go. Settle down. I've not seen these groups, as in the Facebook sperm groups. Getting on the list via NHS for a sperm donor is near impossible. Going to a private clinic can cost £8,000 per birth if it happens. I was a legitimate donor via a private clinic. I did it because friends, family, colleagues, they couldn't have children. I just glanced at my wife and she was pregnant. I've had the snip since. Bit of a weird humble brag there, but never mind. Being a legitimate donor is a huge pain. I took around 8 days unpaid from work to go to the clinic, so 16 trips, which included lots of blood tests, and I barely got back the fuel cost. It was an hour each way plus parking, and I had to fight for my fuel. Needed to buy an expensive sat-nav, was pre-smartphone, as it was a tricky place to find. I have 21 known children, including those with my wife. Would I do it again? Probably not. It was a considerable commitment and very irritating. The clinic was a pain and quite unhelpful. This changed on the last donation where children had been born already. The lead clinician said my sperm count was off the scale and that I'd made a difference to 10 families, and that the general message was that they were grateful for my commitment. Most of their previous donors were low quality or bailed, costing them money. They had so much left over after contacting all 10 families and seeing if they wanted any more, that the remains of my donation were given to research with my consent. These children will have my name and address quite shortly, as they will become 18. I am not legally responsible for them. I'm happy to welcome them into my family if they wish. And then it says TDLR, which I don't know. TLDR, which I don't know what that means, but
Tender loving dick rubbing.
I did via a government scheme. Sorry, had the snip. Can't help. If you're cute, I'll give it a go. In and out in 10 seconds.
He didn't say that
What?
at the end.
No, I think maybe I've accidentally got someone else's comment underneath that, because that's such a shift in tone. Sorry, I don't think that was this bloke. I think I've accidentally copied someone else.
Fucking hell. Derek took a turn, didn't he?
I'm sorry. I wasn't expecting.
But if she's cute.
And actually, you might not be wrong with tender loving dick rub.
We have one final story that I think we should conclude on. And we are going back to our original point of, let's all just take a moment to consider the health and safety of the situation. Like, why are people putting themselves in these horrifically dangerous situations with predatory manky wankers? So whilst I was going down this rabbit hole of stories, I came across this one that was posted a couple of weeks ago. And the title of it is, "A donor I trusted was arrested for assault, and it's made me reconsider a lot." And this is a real fucking story, right? And these are her words, her lived experience within the last month of dealing with someone who she thought would have been a great sperm donor, who she met online, and it's turned sour. Right. Until today, I was 100% set on finding a known donor through a Facebook group. I recently found out that a donor I'd been in contact with for some time was arrested on assault and domestic violence charges. This was someone I considered a friend, more so than just a donor. We'd had long conversations and video calls. I felt like I knew their character and they had a strong reputation in the community. I'm not sure what that means, but maybe a stand-up citizen? I don't know. Honestly, seeing his ad on, I'm not even going to give the name of the website because I'm not going to give them free promotion, made me realise that finding a known donor was truly something I wanted for my family. Seeing those charges, however, come up on Google search was a gut punch, and it made me think hard about the limits of personal vetting. The truth is, no matter how well you think you know someone online, you're only seeing what they choose to show you. I noticed that the online donors who advertise themselves the hardest act like used car salesmen. Great if you don't look closer. Oh my God. What a way to describe them.
Mm.
I'll be honest, I've always been a little sceptical of sperm banks due to the costs and lack of connection. But the more I've sat with this, the more I appreciate what reputable banks actually do. Identity verification, genetic testing, criminal background checks, psychological screening, ongoing medical follow-ups, the list goes on. That's a level of institutional vetting that I, as an individual, genuinely cannot replicate on my own. Stay safe out there, do your research, and maybe take another look at your options. I'm so sad for her.
Yeah, I'm sad for her too.
But also, I don't know her, but I'm incredibly proud that she's taken a stance of, whoa, that was a near miss.
Yeah, because obviously, I know we've touched on this already, but like people are vulnerable. That ultimately, whether it's for the correct intentions or not, these people are just desperate to have children, so are going to any lengths in order to do it. So I think it probably takes real courage and real character to sit back and go, this is not the way forward for anybody.
And I think probably the closing statement should be like, maybe from this moment forward, we get the ball rolling on a campaign to try and work out the cost of these fertility clinics. I've no idea how much they're charging these people. Maybe we should do an episode on that to try and work it out. But something's got to change. Something has to change. And I'm really pleased that Gemma Dunstan's written that article and it's exploded. Like, it's taken off. And as a closing statement, please watch Swipe Right for Sperm on BBC iPlayer. It's brilliant. And have a look at the article. Gemma's got loads more stuff coming out about this. Stay tuned, because you might be seeing us on the BBC shortly. Ooh.
Dun,
No
dun,
way.
dun, hence the emergency broadcast.
Thank you very much for listening, everybody. If you have a story that you would like covered on the podcast, if you would even like to be interviewed, we are open to that. We've got a cracking lineup. We've got some amazing people coming up. Truly fascinating from all different perspectives of this absolutely insane situation of Wild West sperm donation. So thank you very much for listening, and we'll see you next week.
Goodbye.
Passata, passata.